Imagine walking into a pharmacy with a short list of ordinary household items and leaving with a receipt that is much higher than expected. You bought a puzzle book, a pill organizer, something to help open jars, a small mirror, playing cards, a pair of garden tools, remote button covers, a kitchen timer, and a step stool. None of those items sounds luxurious. None of them should feel like a major purchase, but when you add the prices together, the total can surprise you. Today, we are going to do something different from a regular Dollar Tree haul. We are going to shop the same list twice. First, we will look at what comparable products can cost at pharmacies, specialty stores, department stores, garden centers, and online retailers. Then we will walk through the Dollar Tree alternatives and ask one question every time. Are we paying for a genuinely better product, or are we paying more simply because we did not compare? This video is especially for seniors, caregivers, and fixed-income shoppers who are trying to stretch a limited budget without giving up comfort, hobbies, or independence. But I want to make one thing clear at the beginning. I am not saying every product at a pharmacy or department store is overpriced. Sometimes the more expensive item has better materials, a stronger warranty, clearer instructions, or a design that fits your needs better. The goal is not to declare one store good and another store bad. The goal is to compare the same basic function before you pay the higher price. Before we begin, choose the product you want to see compared first. Comment book, mirror, garden, or stool. If you think the largest difference will come from the lighted mirror, write mirror. If you think it will be the step stool, write stool. I will reveal the biggest apparent price gap near the end, but one of the smallest looking products may save more frustration than the most expensive one. For each comparison, we will use the same receipt-style rhythm. First, we will describe the problem. Second, we will look at the typical higher-priced alternative. Third, we will check the Dollar Tree option. Fourth, we will discuss the difference. Finally, we will decide whether it is a real alternative, a conditional alternative, or something you should skip. The prices mentioned are approximate. Dollar Tree prices, package sizes, and inventory vary by location. Other retailers also change prices, run sales, and offer different versions. A fair comparison means checking the number of items, the size, the material, and the function. A $1 product is not automatically a better value if it breaks immediately, does not fit, or stays unused in a drawer. Let us begin with the first line on the receipt, the large print crossword and word search activity book. A large print puzzle book at a bookstore, pharmacy, or specialty retailer can often cost around $6 to $10. The Dollar Tree version observed in recent store activity was around $1.25. At first glance, that is a difference of approximately $4.75 to $8.75. But the real question is not whether the cover looks similar. The real question is whether the pages are comfortable to use. Large print should make the letters and numbers easier to see. The grid should have enough space. The clues should not be packed so tightly that you need a second magnifier to read them. For seniors, a puzzle book can be more than a low-cost activity. It can provide a quiet morning routine, something to take to an appointment, or a social activity to share with a friend. One person can read a clue aloud while another searches for the answer. A grandchild can help with a difficult word. The book can sit beside a cup of coffee and turn a few spare minutes into something enjoyable. That is why the Dollar Tree version can be a strong alternative. You are not paying for a hardcover, a famous puzzle brand, or a bookstore display. You are paying for pages of an activity you may use several times. Now for the limitation. Not every large print book is equally comfortable. Look at a sample page when possible. Some books advertise large print on the cover but use tighter text inside. Some have large grids with clues that remain small. Others may use paper that is thin or easily marked. If you can read the page comfortably and enjoy the puzzles, the $1.25 option can be a sensible buy. If the print still causes strain, a more expensive book with better contrast may be worth the difference. The comparison gives you a choice. It does not tell you to accept discomfort. The first receipt comparison looks like this. Approximately $1.25 at Dollar Tree versus $6 to $10 elsewhere. That is a potential difference of roughly $5 to $9 for a similar basic activity. Now we move to an item connected to a weekly routine. The large print pill organizer with an audible click closure. Comparable organizers with larger markings and secure compartments can cost around $8 to $12 at pharmacies or medical supply retailers. The Dollar Tree version observed in recent store activity was around $1.50. The apparent difference is approximately $6.50 to $10.50. This is where the comparison needs a careful boundary. A pill organizer is a storage aid. It is not medical advice. It does not tell you whether medications can be stored together, whether a prescription can be removed from its original packaging, or whether a particular routine is suitable for you. For someone who already uses a weekly organizer and has a routine approved for them, Large labels can make the days easier to identify. A closing click can provide a physical confirmation that a compartment is shut. A caregiver or spouse may find the larger markings easier to see during a routine check. However, if prescriptions change frequently, if medications have special storage instructions, or if you are unsure whether tablets can be placed together, ask a pharmacist before using any organizer. The lower price is never more important than correct medication handling. Also inspect the compartments. Are the labels clear? Are the lids easy to open without being loose? Does the organizer fit the user's hand? A product that is difficult to open may not be a bargain for someone with limited hand strength. The Dollar Tree version can be a lower-cost alternative when it matches an existing, professionally appropriate routine. It should not be used as a reason to change how medication is taken. That distinction makes the comparison responsible. The receipt now shows a possible difference of $5 to $9 on the activity book and $6.50 to $10.50 on the organizer. But we are not adding the numbers as guaranteed savings. We are collecting possible differences while checking whether each item deserves the lower price. The third line is small but familiar, the rubberized jar opening grip mat. A specialty kitchen store, pharmacy, or online retailer may charge around $5 to $8 for a textured jar grip or opening aid. The Dollar Tree version observed in recent store activity was around $1.25. That creates an apparent difference of approximately $3.75 to $6.75. The problem is simple. A jar sits on the counter, the lid does not move. Your hand slips. You try again, press harder, and the task becomes frustrating. A rubberized mat can add traction between the hand and the lid or help keep the jar steady on the counter. This is a good example of a product that is valuable because it solves one small problem repeatedly. You do not need to use it every hour. You only need it on the day a jar refuses to open. The Dollar Tree version is worth considering if the material feels textured and flexible. Wash it when necessary and let it dry. Do not leave it covered in grease, because grease removes the very traction you are trying to create. The honest limitation is that a grip mat does not replace help. If a jar is damaged, the glass is wet, the lid is swollen, or the seal is unusually tight, do not keep forcing it. Use a safer opener or ask someone for help. A low-cost mat should reduce slipping, not encourage risky twisting. At around $1.25 versus $5 to $8, this is a strong, low-cost alternative. It is not exciting, but useful products do not need to be exciting to earn their place. Now the comparison changes from a small kitchen tool to something many people use for personal care. The cordless illuminated magnifying mirror, a comparable lighted magnifying mirror from a beauty store, department store, or online retailer can cost around $15 to $25. The Dollar Tree version observed in recent store activity was around $2. The apparent difference is approximately $13 to $23. That is the largest gap we have seen so far, but a large gap deserves a close inspection. Is the mirror actually illuminated? Does the switch work? Is the battery compartment clean? Does the base sit flat? Is the magnification comfortable, or does it make the image too distorted to use? For seniors, better lighting can help with close-up tasks such as earrings, skincare, makeup, grooming, or seeing small details in a reflection. Bathroom lights often come from above and create shadows. A small illuminated mirror can bring the light closer to the face. The cordless design may also allow the mirror to move from a bathroom counter to a bedroom table. That flexibility can be useful for someone who does not want to stand in one place or hold a mirror in one hand while using the other. But do not place it beside a sink where it can fall into water. Check the battery compartment. If the switch feels loose, if the light flickers, or if the base tips, the comparison is not worth much. A $2 mirror that cannot stand safely is not better value than a stable mirror that costs more. The Dollar Tree option passes when the unit works, the magnification feels comfortable, and the base is stable. It may not have the strongest light or the most durable materials. But if the purpose is occasional close-up grooming, a $2 product can provide a substantial alternative to a $15 to $25 model. The running comparison is now surprising. The activity book may offer a $5 to $9 difference. The organizer may offer $6.50 to $10.50. The jar grip may offer $4 to $7. The mirror may offer $13 to $23. But there is still a difference between a lower price and a lower total cost. Batteries, replacement parts, and unused purchases belong on the receipt too. The fifth product is the oversized high-contrast playing card set. A large print or high-contrast card deck from a specialty game store, pharmacy, or online retailer can cost around $7 to $12. The Dollar Tree version observed in recent store activity was around $2. The apparent difference is approximately $5 to $10. The practical reason to compare this product is that standard playing cards can become difficult to read under ordinary room lighting. When the numbers and suits are too small, people may stop joining games. That can remove a social routine, not just a hobby. A larger or clearer deck can support card games with friends, family, neighbors, or community groups. It can make the numbers easier to identify without holding the cards unusually close. It can also make the game more enjoyable for people with different levels of vision. Check the package carefully. Does it enlarge the card itself, the printed number, or both? Is the contrast strong? Are the cards coated, slippery, thin, or stiff? If the cards feel uncomfortable to hold, the low price may not matter. The Dollar Tree deck is a strong alternative when the print is truly readable and the game is played occasionally or weekly. A premium deck may last longer for daily use, but if the goal is to restore a social activity without spending $10 or more, the lower-priced option deserves attention. The same function test works well here. Both products are meant to play cards. The more expensive deck may feel better, last longer, or offer clearer print. But if the lower-priced deck provides enough visibility and comfort, seniors are not required to pay the higher price simply because it comes from a specialty store. The sixth product is the oversized soft grip garden tool set, usually containing a trowel and a hand cultivator. Comparable ergonomic garden tools from a garden center or hardware retailer can cost around $15 to $22. The Dollar Tree version observed in recent store activity was around $2.50. The apparent difference is approximately $12.50 to $19.50. That is a large comparison gap, but garden tools are one of the areas where quality differences matter. A premium tool may have stronger metal, a better connection between the blade and handle, or a grip designed for repeated use. The reason the Dollar Tree option may still help is the handle. A cushioned or wider grip can reduce the need to squeeze a narrow tool. For seniors who enjoy planting, loosening soil, or removing small weeds, the shape may feel more comfortable during short sessions. Hold the package if possible. Is the handle too large? Does it feel slippery? Does the metal look aligned? Would the tool be used in soft soil or hard ground? The product may be appropriate for a patio planter or light garden bed, but not for breaking through compact soil. The honest comparison is this. The Dollar Tree tool may provide the ergonomic shape at a much lower entry price, but it may not provide premium durability. Use it for light work. Stop if the handle hurts your hand. Do not force a tool simply because it costs less. At $2.50 versus $15 to $22, the difference is large enough to justify a trial for a casual gardener. If you garden every day or work in hard soil, a higher-priced tool may be the better long-term value. We have now compared 6 products, and this is a good place for a reset. The lower price has been genuinely convincing in several categories: paper activities, simple kitchen traction, visual aids, social games, and light gardening. But the comparison only works when the Dollar Tree item performs the same basic function. A product does not become a bargain because the alternative is expensive. It becomes a bargain when the lower-priced item fits the task. The 7th line on the receipt is the extra-large remote button cover set. A comparable remote overlay or button marking kit can cost around $7 to $10 at electronics or accessibility retailers. The Dollar Tree version observed in recent store activity was around $1.25. The apparent difference is approximately $5.75 to $8.75. The problem is not that televisions are impossible to use. The problem is that modern remotes often include more buttons than anyone in the household uses. Power, volume, mute, channel, guide, and input may be surrounded by small labels and unfamiliar controls. A set of large button covers can identify the most used controls without replacing a working remote. That can extend the life of the remote and reduce the frustration of searching for a small button. The key word is compatibility. Compare the layout before buying. A cover designed for one type of remote may not fit another. If the buttons are too close together, the overlays may touch. If the remote has an unusual shape, the package example may not match. Install only the essential covers. If you mark every button, you may create more visual clutter. Clean the surface first. Make sure the covers do not interfere with movement, the battery door, or the remote signal. At $1.25 compared with $7 to $10, the product can be a useful low-cost experiment. It does not replace a large button remote, but it may improve a working remote without forcing a larger purchase. The 8th comparison is the classic wind-up tomato kitchen timer. A comparable mechanical kitchen timer can cost around $10 to $15 at specialty kitchen retailers. The Dollar Tree version observed in recent store activity was around $1.25. The apparent difference is approximately $8.75 to $13.75. The reason people still like this timer is not complicated. You turn the dial, you hear the ticking. The bell rings when the time is over. There is no screen, app, charger, or digital menu. For seniors who prefer physical controls, it can be easier to set a visible timer on the counter than to find a phone, open an app, and select a notification. It can remind you to check cookies, tea, soup, dough, or food warming in the oven. The tomato shape also creates visibility. It is easier to spot than a small black digital device beside a coffee maker. The familiar sound can be heard from the next room, depending on the strength of the bell and the size of the home. But it is not a precision instrument. Mechanical timers can ring early or late. Test it before using it. Do not use it for medication timing or any situation where exact seconds matter. It is a household reminder, not a safety system. At $1.25 versus $10 to $15, the price difference is strong. The product wins when your priority is simple reminders and familiar use. A digital timer may win when you need exact timing, multiple countdowns, or an adjustable alarm. The ninth and final product is the foldable step stool with a wide platform and support handle. Comparable handle stools from home improvement and department stores can cost around $18 to $28. The Dollar Tree version observed in recent store activity was around $3. The apparent difference is approximately $15 to $25. This is the biggest price gap on the receipt. But it is also the product that needs the most careful decision. A step stool can help with a small reach in a pantry, kitchen, closet, laundry room, or garage. The purpose is to avoid standing on a chair, box, bathtub edge, or other unstable object. Before buying, inspect the hinge, platform, feet, and handle. Open it fully. Make sure it locks into place. Check whether the platform feels wide enough. Use it only on a flat, stable floor. Avoid rugs, wet surfaces, and side reaching. The support handle can provide a point to hold, but it is not a guarantee against falling. Do not use a small stool when you need a full ladder. Do not climb while carrying a heavy object. Ask for help when the task requires more height or balance than the stool can safely provide. The Dollar Tree version may be an impressive price alternative for a small, controlled reach, but a higher-priced stool may offer stronger construction, a wider platform, or better weight information. Safety and fit come before the price difference. Now let us read the receipt from beginning to end. The large print puzzle book was approximately $1.25 versus $6 to $10. The pill organizer was around $1.50 versus $8 to $12. The jar grip was around $1.25 versus $5 to $8. The illuminated mirror was around $2 versus $15 to $25. The playing cards were around $2 versus $7 to $12. The garden tools were around $2.50 versus $15 to $22. The remote covers were around $1.25 versus $7 to $10. The tomato timer was around $1.25 versus $10 to $15. The support handle stool was around $3 versus $18 to $28. If you purchased all 9 alternatives elsewhere, the total could be dramatically higher. But do not add every possible difference and call it guaranteed savings. That would assume you needed every item, that every comparison was identical, and that the Dollar Tree products were equal in durability. The honest conclusion is more useful. Dollar Tree may give seniors a lower-cost way to test a function before paying more for a premium version. You can try a larger print, a wider grip, a lighted mirror, a timer, or an organizer without making a major financial commitment. If the item works for you, you may keep using it. If it does not, you have learned what feature you need in the higher-priced version. That is still useful information. Let us create 3 buyer profiles. The first is a senior shopper who wants maximum day-to-day value. The best matches may be the jar grip, remote covers, large print book, and tomato timer because they solve small recurring problems at low prices. The second is a hobby-focused shopper. The high-contrast cards and soft-grip garden tools may be more valuable because they protect activities that bring social connection and enjoyment. The third is a household access shopper. The magnifying mirror, pill organizer, and step stool may help with specific routines, but they require more inspection and, in the case of medication organization, professional guidance when needed. None of these shoppers should buy all 9 automatically. The best purchase depends on the problem. Now I want to address the phrase, seniors are paying too much. This title is not accusing every pharmacy customer or department store shopper of making a mistake. A higher-priced item may include a better warranty, stronger materials, better support, or a design that truly works better for you. The title is about unexamined purchases. If you pay a higher price without asking whether a lower-cost product offers the same basic function, you may be paying more than necessary. Dollar Tree is one place to compare, not the only place to shop. A careful shopper should compare the package count, material, size, and return policy. A larger package may be worth the higher price. A stronger tool may last longer. A medical supply may be more appropriate than a general organizer. The goal is value, not the lowest sticker price. Before buying, ask 4 questions. Will I use it at least once a week? Can I inspect it before paying? Does it fit the space and routine? What is the honest downside? If you can answer those questions, you are shopping with control. Now tell me which comparison surprised you most. Was it the $2 lighted mirror against a $15 to $25 alternative? Was it the $3 support handle stool? Was it the tomato timer, where a simple mechanical design can cost $10 or more elsewhere? Comment mirror, stool, or timer. Also tell me which store you want in the next comparison. Would you like Dollar Tree versus CVS, Dollar Tree versus Walmart, Dollar Tree versus Walgreens, or Dollar Tree versus Amazon? Include the product category, such as reading aids, kitchen tools, personal care, organizing, or gardening. If this video helped you compare prices before spending money, press like. A like helps this information reach seniors, caregivers, and fixed-income shoppers who may be paying more for a simple household function simply because they did not know there was another option. Please subscribe to The Forgotten Pantry. The channel is built around a simple idea. Your grandparents knew how to stretch every dollar without stepping into a specialty store. That does not mean buying the cheapest item every time. It means comparing the function, checking the quality, and deciding whether the product earns its place in your home. Researching prices takes time because packages change, local stores carry different versions, and comparison products may be on sale. Your subscription helps support the research, store checks, product tests, and future side-by-side comparisons. Please share this video with a parent, grandparent, caregiver, neighbor, or friend who shops on a fixed budget. Share it with someone who buys puzzle books, uses a television remote, gardens, opens jars, prepares meals, or needs a simple way to organize a weekly routine. One final reminder, the prices in this video are approximate observed prices and comparison ranges. Inventory varies by store. Comparable products are not always identical. Always check the package, inspect the product, and compare like-for-like sizes before deciding. Dollar Tree may not be the right answer for every purchase, but it can be the right comparison. A $1.25 jar grip may solve the same small problem as a $5 specialty mat. A $2 card deck may keep a weekly game going. A $3 stool may be useful for a controlled reach when used correctly. The real savings begin before you place the item in the basket. They begin when you ask what the product does, what the alternative costs, and whether the difference is worth paying. Until the next comparison, bring your list, check the package, compare the function, and never assume the most familiar store is automatically the only place to find a useful product.